I feel like people crave long form content these days.
I mean, I love long content, and that's why I wanted to start doing this, because I feel like I wasn't really getting enough from that like really short stuff. You know, it's just everything you just scroll through, and that's what I find amazing with audio content these days.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that you can literally plug it in, walk around, do whatever you want to do, and you can have it on, because no one's got the time, you know, to sit in front of a video and watch it for like, I don't know,
exactly
45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah,
I've never watched a whole podcast episode.
I definitely have.
Yeah? You watched them on YouTube?
Yeah, I used to like finish work and just watch podcasts. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird maybe, but
which ones do you watch?
Not so many these days actually, but I used to watch a lot of like Rich Roll. You know, Rich Roll, legend. He's one of John Joseph's like best friends. Yeah, and he's been on Rich Roll's show a couple of times. I used to love Joe Rogan. Like every episode, I'd listen to Joe Rogan. I still think he's a fucking awesome guy. I just hate that he's so anti-vegan.
He's funny. Like that's the thing.
He's
like
a funny guy, man.
It transcends everything.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Whatever he says, as long as it's funny, I'm gonna laugh.
Definitely.
Like it.
And he's like, he's so open-minded to so many things, like UFOs or psychedelics or like interesting topics that he's like super into and isn't scared to like talk about. Did he bring
on the singer from Linkin Park to talk about UFOs or something like that?
No, singer of Blink-182.
Because he died.
Tom DeLonge. No, he's still alive.
The one from Linkin Park died though.
Linkin Park guy committed suicide.
Yeah, he committed suicide,
yeah. But the Blink-182 guy's like a UFO.
Yeah, he's like
kind
a
of
specialist kind of guy.
Yeah. I don't know if
I remember watching parts of that episode, and even Joe Rogan was struggling to follow him.
Oh, big time. I don't think he believes him like at all. Yeah.
It must be pretty tough when you bring people on and you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And you notice that whenever Joe Rogan like doesn't like his guest, it's always like 1 hour, 1 minute, or like 45 minutes instead of like 4 hours
12
or
seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, that's enough.
You go home and you talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think especially podcasts and long content, it's going to keep on growing as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's the way, because it's like a decentralized like media network, you know. We don't rely on ABC, CNN, we don't rely on these places for news anymore. You can be your own journalist. You are your own journalist. You have your own show. You have your own network.
Yeah.
That people tune into. It's fucking amazing, man.
If anyone is curious in starting a podcast, I would recommend it 100%.
Yeah.
And the thing that you're going to benefit from it the most, without even knowing, is a network of people that you're going to meet.
Totally, man. Yeah.
Like, that's something I did not bank on. I was doing it purely just to share like a vegan message.
Yeah.
But the amount of incredible people that I've met, and then I've met through them, and like, now it's so global. Like, I don't know, I feel so close to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like once you recorded a podcast episode with someone, it's like an everlasting connection.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know? Definitely.
So you just sit down, you open up, and you talk about so much stuff.
Exactly, man.
And you have like 5 questions on your screen, and you haven't asked any of them. So it's
yeah, exactly, because it allows you to like go so much deeper than we get the chance to in our daily lives, you know.
Yeah, because even you see your friends, you know, you just like sit in there for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Coffee, have a drink. You've always got somewhere to go, somewhere to be.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about Rich Roll's podcast. I feel like time just stops. And it's his voice as well.
He's such a beautiful guy, man. I fucking love Rich Roll. Yeah.
I was on What the Health. Is he in What the Health?
Yeah, he's in What the Health.
Yeah, I think that's where I discovered him first time.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's a beast.
Yeah,
he's
definitely
fitter than I will ever be.
Yeah, I know, right? And he's like 52 or something, and he looks like so young and like vibrant and energetic, and the way that he turned his life around is insane.
Yeah, because he was a lawyer, drug addict, and
he didn't change till he was like mid-40s.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. I've been thinking about starting a podcast recently. Do it, man. You reckon?
100%. Yeah, of course, man.
Do you ever do like solo episodes?
I did one. I talked for 17 minutes.
Okay. Did you find it a lot harder?
Well, however, it was about gluten, so it was really boring.
Oh, okay.
So don't watch it.
Okay.
Don't watch it. Well, you can't watch it because it's actually just audio. It's before I even had cameras.
Okay, yeah.
But I would recommend it. Do it, of course. You've got so much to share.
Yeah,
You can talk about so much.
It's just like, I don't know how many guests I'd be able to have on, so I feel like a lot of it might be just like solo, but...
Well, Earthling Ed does his pretty much solo the whole time.
He doesn't do it anymore, though, huh?
Yeah, he was doing the Earthling Ed experience.
Disclosure. Yeah, the Disclosure Project podcast, or something. Yeah. But he had like 6 episodes and doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, but he was doing like 2 hours long by himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, how would you do that?
True, yeah. I feel like that would be hard.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'd like to do because, again, it's more content and it's like a different platform. And yeah, like I just love talking about these issues as well, so I think it's like such a good outlet.
But you're in Berlin, like you're gonna find people to talk to here.
That's true, and like lots of well-known activists come through Berlin on their tours and this kind of stuff, and I've met quite a few. So and because of that, I'm like, damn, I should have like made some content with them, and what better to do than a podcast?
Yeah, it lasts forever.
For sure, man.
And
so maybe.
That is a good thing as well, even people if don't want to do it from an animal rights perspective, is that rarely are people going to say no to being a guest on a podcast.
That's true. Like, it's a pretty dope thing.
Yeah, and
for
it's
sure.
Like, someone actually wants my opinion on something. You know, they want to talk to me. Whereas if you're just like, oh, can I meet you? They'd be like, well, maybe I don't really have time.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to prioritize it in the same way.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, can I sit down, ask you questions, do a podcast, and give you content, video, audio?
Exactly.
Most people are going to accept the offer. True. It allows you to create that network and connect with so many people that you wouldn't necessarily think that you would.
True that, man. Yeah.
So do it, man. You should 100% do it.
Okay, I might have to do it. Might have to.
And it's like so easy to do anything these days. Just Google like, how do I do this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually scary how many times I do that a day.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, how do I tie my shoelaces?
Yeah, true that, man. Yeah. I should do it. Yeah.
And you don't need much.
Just like I was thinking, solo podcast with camera. No one would really watch it, but I feel like audio, just like what we're doing now. If it was just me, like yo.
Well, if you were like running or spinning or knitting or doing something, you can't just be
at the same time
like camera
extreme close up. Hey, there's this one guy from New Zealand that is actually, I should have mentioned when I talked about people that like make good content and like give some inspiration to like create your own content. He's this guy called Plant-Based Māori, and he's like, do you know what a Māori person is? They're like indigenous New Zealanders.
Oh, okay.
So he's like an indigenous vegan from New Zealand, but he kind of like took Gary Vee's content model and like ran with it. And man, he's like blown up in New Zealand. He's got like 35K on Instagram.
Impressive.
He's not about animals, but he's about like personal health and like all of these different things. But
I mean, whatever works, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he does a podcast, and that's why I was like, damn, maybe. And he just does it by himself, like sitting on a chair, filming. But yeah, he's another guy that people should check out because he makes some really cool content in like a kind of a unique way that I think delivers the message to a lot of people too. So Plant-Based Māori.
I'll put a link as well
on Instagram
down to him.
Yeah.
Can't believe I don't follow him. You know when you think you follow everyone and then you don't?
Yeah.
But I find actually that's an interesting point about Instagram.
Yeah.
Is like there's this big thing about you don't follow people back. You know, it's like that ratio
followers
to follower thing.
I was so obsessed with it when I first started.
I find it's slightly warped and weird.
In what regards?
I don't know, because maybe I'm just like doing it wrong. You know? I feel like maybe it's because it's from a podcast perspective. Like, I want to follow everyone. I want to know what everyone's doing. You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But then I see like everyone who has like big following, they have like a close to zero following and then massive amount of followers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a status thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, when I first started making content, I was like following so many people. Then I'd like unfollow them if they didn't follow me back. Like I was using that as kind of like a growth strategy. But yeah, like I never have gone, like I've been following 490 people for like the past 10 months. Or something. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like,
I don't know. Of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course,
come
man.
on.
Of course.
Winner.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's like, I'm like more selective about who I follow these days. Yeah. Because I'm like, if you're talking about stuff that I'm interested in, then yeah, I'm going to follow you. But if it's like, meh, then I'm not going to like give it a chance unless they're like making something cool or have like an interesting perspective on things, or they're really intelligent or something. I just like don't. I'm like,
I've unfollowed a few that just constantly post gory videos.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to see it. You know? I mean, it's nothing. Not that I don't think people need to see it, but I personally don't need to see it.
For sure, it's important. But yeah, I mean, like if your following is already, I mean, there's a definite merit to posting that kind of stuff, but to do it on a daily basis is not good for the person posting it, not good for the followers. It's like an overall negative. Like we already know what's happening.
Mentally, it does take its toll on you.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I mean, it's like I've never done a vigil, and
neither.
I don't think I physically could.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that I could, but I'm finding excuses for myself.
Yeah.
I should, and I will one day, and I will document it.
Me too.
And it will scar me for life.
Yeah.
But I want to do it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I want to see slaughterhouse footage every day.
I know. Yeah, definitely not. And man, a big change for me when like in terms of like being an activist or advocating for veganism is actually spending time with like rescued animals. Yeah. It's like, like there's this sanctuary that's just outside of Berlin, like maybe like 2 hours out of Berlin, maybe less. But they have like all these rescued animals. Like they have pigs and cows and sheep and lambs and geese and man, like I was just like hugging this cow for like, it sounds so like stereotypical vegan, but I was just like spending time with this cow.
Matcha tea or something. Kombucha.
Do some yoga, hug cows. No, but I was like,
meditate after
but I was like hanging out with this cow, and I was like, oh my God, like there's such beautiful animals, and no one in their right mind would ever want to cause harm to these animals. Like they're so gentle and so lovely, and pigs are like so funny, and just like.
And to think, on a day-to-day, we make a meal out of them in seconds.
I know. It's so dark.
We're just so not accountable for it.
I know, exactly right.
We don't think about it. We don't realize.
Definitely. And like if more people actually had the opportunity to go and spend time with a cow or something, or a pig or whatever, and you can like actually see that they're sentient creatures. There's somebody behind those eyes, like for sure. Preferences.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 cats, right? And my 2 cats, for me, they're humans.
Exactly, yeah.
One of them's more like a sugar bat, like wherever she just runs and like jumps on my shoulders from miles away, and then just scratches down the side of my back. But like from a personality perspective, they're so human, and
Definitely.
I could never ever imagine sending it off to a slaughterhouse for someone to have like.
Yeah, definitely. And like when I was first looking into like ethical veganism, and I heard people say that animals are people. I heard people say that, and I was like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was already like plant-based. But after actually spending time with more animals, you're like, damn, okay, like, yeah, they're non-human animals, but there's like personalities, there's people behind there, they're just not human.
Yeah, they have their own societies almost, don't they, within themselves. It's but we don't think about that, do we?
No, definitely not. And it's, we're not enabled to think about that really. You know, growing up, I never thought about it, but I've always loved animals so much. And like, if I drove past some cows or something, I'd be like, yo, cows. But I didn't even like think for a second that I shouldn't be paying for them to be brutally fucking tortured and cut up into 1,000 pieces, you know? It's just not something that, it's not an idea that we
say that to someone, they're like, stop it, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
like,
I know, yeah.
That's what you're paying for. That is literally what's happening.
That's the truth.
There's no 2 ways about it.
That's the truth. And that's what's hard about speaking about this issue in a way that's relatable, because we know the truth. Like, and the truth is fucking like so horrific that we could never imagine enduring it or causing other people to endure it. But then like, if we speak about it in real terms about what's happening, people are like, oh, you're weird or something, you know, when you're really just telling the truth. But yeah, that's a hard part about vegan activism.
Did that video, I think it was one of the older ones that you did, where it's as if it was a real life in a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And if people describe the food like that, then no one's going to order it, would they? I mean, it was actually very funny and very cleverly done. Yeah. And you were saying like, oh, it's been slaughtered and then dismembered, and you still want to have it? Like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Nope, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the real life process of how it is. But it sounds so strange to actually call it that, which is like because of the fantastic marketing from the animal agriculture industry.
And we're the liars, you know. We're the ones who with their vegan propaganda of,
of course,
soy milk and pea milk and all that stuff.
It's so ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've been sold a lie for generations now.
Exactly.
I've been trying to figure out like when was the beginning of this whole meat movement. Obviously 20th century, you got the 2 world wars. Yeah. Meats were the last things to be rationed. Yeah. And then you got this kind of generation of prosperity through baby boomers. And then everyone was just like, oh, we've got money now. We can have this as much as we want. Right, whereas it was never the way it had been before.
Yeah, that's interesting.
People never consumed the meat at the rate that they do right now. Yeah. But people think this is how it's always been.
I know, right? Yeah. Definitely.
That's so interesting. 50 years that we're consuming meat at this rate. That doesn't mean that I'm telling people they should just reduce. Yeah. Even though I do support, honestly, people who do reduce their meat intake because I see the longer goal of it. Same here. I'm not going to be like, it's not enough. You're still a murderer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't see that as effective.
No,
I'm
all
about being effective. I'm not about being perfect.
I 1,000% agree with you. I think that's so important because like so many people get pissed when somebody won't go vegan or says that they're reducing their meat. And I totally understand. I 1,000% understand. But it's about conducting ourselves in ways that are effective for sure. And it's not always effective to talk about veganism. It's not always effective to call people names or to judge somebody, or, you know, it's not always going to be effective. So I'm a big believer in communicating when it's going to be effective and picking and choosing.
Yeah, I do think it's very important because I'm often with different people, and obviously my mood is different on different days. Like, everyone goes through mood swings. And I find if I go for a day, super positive, bring out all good energy in people, I don't even have to mention that I'm vegan.
Yeah.
If towards the end of that we start talking about it, they're going to be a lot more receptive because they've seen me as a super positive, super happy,
so true,
inspiring, handsome guy.
Love how you threw that in there.
Yeah, just thought no one's going to know. And then,
brilliant.
Well, if I come on as my usual self, which is like miserable as fuck, like, super moody, don't want to talk to anyone.
Okay.
And I'm like, so are you vegan yet? And they go, oh, no, they're not going to relate to that. No one's going to even want to go down that route of a conversation.
Of course not. It needs to be aspirational in some way, like because it takes more effort to go vegan. It is like, and it takes time, and it's hard for some people. Well, it wasn't for me. I did it overnight. But then when I started communicating about it, I was like, damn, everybody can do it overnight. It's easy. Like, come on, just be like me. But people don't work like that.
I did it over 6 months.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah.
But I don't necessarily recommend people doing it that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's necessarily the best way for everyone.
Yeah.
Even though I do think it is more durable if people take their time when they do it. Because if you do snap change like that, it generally doesn't last.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Whereas if you take your time, you educate yourself, and you're removing things one by one, maybe over the long term it does work. Even though I don't like the idea of it because it still does involve a lot of animal exploitation.
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
But then people, if they're going to go straight away, they go for 1 month.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, I tried veganism. Didn't work for me. Exactly. Never mind. Never tried again.
Exactly. That's true.
But I tried to learn the piano in a month and didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about what's going to be sustainable for that person. I'm just the type of person that it's like, this thing is cool. Okay, I'm doing it. And don't think twice about it. So, but not everyone is wired like that. And it makes sense. Like, encourage people to do what is going to be long lasting and positive for them, because that's,
you got to always find the way in with people.
Definitely.
I always see people like a keypad. Yeah. So like everyone has a code. You just got to find out which order to press the numbers.
For sure. I agree with that.
Could that be health? Could that be, I don't know. Could be anything. Some people get into veganism through beauty products.
Yeah,
through
cruelty-free makeup.
Yeah, it can be literally from any direction.
Definitely.
Food is obviously the main one because it's selfish, and health.
Yep.
But whatever works, I always just try and get to know people.
Yep.
Talk about what's important to them, and then lean on that a little bit.
Totally, I totally agree with that. Yeah, for sure, man. I think there's this really great analogy that I heard. I can't remember who said it, but it's like called like the 100-point system. In that any big change we make is an accumulation of like much smaller things along the line. So when I look at my own decision to go vegan, it's like I listened to a podcast, I was in the right mood, and boom, I did it. But before all that, I knew somebody that was vegan, knew they were healthy. I saw earthlings. I loved animals. I realized that this bodybuilder was vegan, or all of these different things like may have been 10 points, 50 points, 5 points. Accumulating to a wider change that brings about that aha moment, and then the change from there.
Yeah, so that is interesting. It isn't maybe that click of the fingers, is it? It's accumulation of things, and it was right time.
Exactly, right time, right place, the right score on the board. Just boom, like death by 1,000 lashes. Yeah, as well as another way to put it.
And I think Earthling Eddie mentioned in his podcast, there was very few episodes that he did. Where are they, Ed? I know you're not watching this.
He might be.
He might be.
Be nice.
Come join me.
Be nice to vegan Jesus.
Yeah, he's got guns. You've seen that? If you're not guns, like.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, he's like strapped up with AK-47s or something.
No. I was watching his latest outreach video.
Dude, he's been working out.
He's been seriously working out.
I was impressed. I was like, because he used to be so skinny.
Yeah, I think he's got tired of that being called the stereotypical.
Definitely,
vegan.
And props for that. It's so powerful to see. Like now that he's got fucking guns and big triceps and stuff, interviewing people about this issue.
I think it's holding that microphone all the time. He's got that long
It's a big microphone.
And he's like swinging it around all the time.
Curls with it. Yeah, that could be it actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like the fact that he's gone and bulked up on a vegan diet is like, so good for veganism.
Yeah. But they've all done it as well. You see, Joey Carbstrong as well. He was working out quite as buff, and James Aspie is pretty. I mean, he was always pretty big. But.
Yeah, it's so important. Even though like so many guys are like, I need to build muscle, even though they don't go to the gym and. They go to the gym maybe once every 2 months.
Like everyone likes the idea of it. We all like the idea of being ripped, but no one likes the process.
Exactly.
And I think that goes to anything with success.
For sure.
You got to enjoy that process before you can get that result.
For sure, man. And that's like that's so relevant to like creating content on Instagram or YouTube or whatever you want to do. And if you want to make content, then it's not about trying to get a certain number of likes. It's about enjoying coming up with an idea, testing new things, really being passionate about what you're talking about. And like that's a critical part of making good content, is like loving the process.
But that's we live in a world where we see instant results on other people.
Definitely.
There's always one in a million. You know, there's always like, I don't know, that one person who pops out of nowhere, puts out a single, goes viral on YouTube, gets signed for 10 million. And it's like, well, I want that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the reality.
No.
And usually these people are just products of like marketing as well. They've been like locked on by the big groups and they've literally trampolined them into the air.
Definitely. Yeah.
Not taking any credit or success away from them. Some very
but like the people that do have that success, like maybe they don't sustain it for the long term as well, because they haven't had that behind the scenes work to achieve their platform. You know, like I think it's like hugely character building as well to like be involved in a process where you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't know whether it's going to be successful. You have to be willing to be a failure, for people to laugh at you, to people to insult you. You have to be willing to go through that kind of stuff. It's like, it's a real trip actually, like dedicating yourself to something and seeing it through and being consistent and seeing what could happen. Yeah. Because like I've done things in the past, like I used to run like a music blog, a hip hop blog, and I was like so obsessed with like getting a big following on my music blog and like trying to monetize it.
What kind of following did you have?
I had like 1,000 followers on Twitter, but I got some like decent interviews with some like pretty good rappers, pretty good producers. But I was never like loving the process of it. You know, I was like, damn, I want this advertiser on the website, or like, I like had ulterior motives kind of thing. And it just like, it wasn't sustainable, you know? And like when you're actually just willing to fail, to make shitty content, to have a shitty outreach conversation on camera or something like that, you have to be willing to like go through these uncomfortable experiences and like dedicate yourself to the process and enjoy failure. Like if I put up a post or try a new style of video and it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, that didn't work. Interesting.
But people like knowing that process as well. People relate to the process.
Yeah, definitely.
I always like tell people, I fucked this up in the camera.
Exactly.
Wrong place, got this like these bag of crisps in the background, you know.
Sure, man. Stuff, you got to be authentic.
Yeah, it's part of the process, and I'm not trying to portray to people that I'm doing anything perfectly.
Yeah, no, neither.
And people always ask me like, so when are you going to monetize your podcast? And I'm like, never.
Yeah.
Never, because first of all, there's no money in animal rights.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And second of all, we're in a generation in a world where no one's willing to pay for content. In a second.
Exactly.
And third of all, I don't want to be accountable to sponsors.
Yeah.
And to not be able to say whatever I want.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I like being in control. And for me, that adds so much more value than money.
For sure, man. That's a great mindset to have about it. Yeah, definitely. If you're doing it for the right reasons, definitely. Yeah. Having the money goal is so kind of, it's bad for your creativity. It's bad for your own happiness, for your own mental health. Definitely, man.
But the problem with numbers and humans is that it's never enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Now you've hit 10,000. Do you want more?
I don't know. I actually don't think about it that much anymore. Like I used to be like, 1,000 followers, that's cool. Then I was like, 5K. Then like the closer I got to 10K, the less I cared about it, which is like interesting, you know. Yeah,
because you'd enjoyed that journey.
Yeah, exactly. And I genuinely love making content. It's like, it's what I do for a living professionally. It's what I do in my spare time. Like I just love taking ideas, putting it into a format that people can interact with and like see if they like it. I think it's a fascinating process, and it's just what I genuinely love to do. So I'm just going to keep putting stuff out there no matter what happens. You know, no matter if people stop liking it or get sick of it, or...
And that's where you've already won, because you do it because you like it. You're not doing it for other people's appreciation. And
definitely.
And that's what's completely awesome about what you are doing with that.
Yeah.
So how do you like write your scripts for because when you do your... I don't know if anyone's seen them. I'll put a link to a few of them down below. I mean, most of you have seen them. Let's be honest, everyone's seen them.
Too kind, mate.
So you literally are talking to yourself, right?
Yeah.
So do you record getting warm?
Yeah, getting sweaty, man. Getting intense.
This is where the serious stuff comes out. Just getting started. Yeah, so when you do your scripts, do you like record it all at once? Do you do like one side first and then the other? Or do you kind of like stop going between it? Because you change clothes as well.
Yeah. I've never written a script for a video.
Oh, no way.
I don't script any of them. I just like so what I do is I just like think of an idea. I'm like, oh, that's funny, or that's relatable. That might be relatable for people. And I just put on some clothes that are like distinguishable from something else, and then just put the camera on, and then just try and say, like, think of how the conversation would go and say one part all in one go, and then change clothes, put another like distinguishable outfit on, and just like do the other half of the conversation. But I don't like plan it out or script it or
really.
Yeah.
Because I would go for a completely different process.
Yeah.
Like I would have to see that conversation first, like how it would go in my mind, write it down, separate it, and then how everyone's process.
I just do it on the fly. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I've always found success with just trying something and just working it out without like thinking about it too much, and just like seeing how my brain reacts in certain situations. Like having an outreach conversation is kind of like that, you don't know what the person is going to say. You have to think on the fly, you have to react.
Yeah.
So I feel like the same with like creating videos. But I don't know, maybe they'd be better if I scripted them. I don't know. Like I just have fun doing it as well. And like I'll fuck up a line like 15 times or something. And then I'm just like, oh my God. Like
it's awkward when you like focusing on one word that you just can't seem to. There's a word that I cannot say, which is
try it.
Apparel. No, wait.
Apparel.
No, apparel. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay. What is it?
Apparel.
Okay.
Like the clothing. I cannot say it.
Interesting.
Because I was doing an episode, like the live on Instagram with Sophia Jasmine. She has a really nice, actually, ethical vegan apparel brand.
Nice.
I don't know why. I'm just thinking about Aperol spritz all the time.
And
Makes sense. There's just those words that you can't get
out.
No. And then I was just trying to avoid it in every possible way on Instagram.
Clothing.
Like, stuff you put on your body.
Do you know, like my word is vivid.
Okay.
I'm like vivid, like, because we have this brand of permanent markers in New Zealand called Vivids. See, I just did it. But it's like the V's back to back. Vivid. I don't know. Yeah, I could never say it.
At least you weren't the vivid carnist.
Yeah, true.
The carnist worked better for you.
The vivid carnist.
I know you've told that story before, but where did that name come from?
I don't know. I just thought it. Like I was trying to come up with ideas for an Instagram name, and I had a whole bunch of shitty ones. And I was like, man, none of these are good. And then I was just like, to my girlfriend, I was like, recovering carnist. She was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. But I don't know why. It just popped into my head and just decided to use it.
Because it's become quite popular. No one has a name like that. Everyone's something vegan or something.
Yeah. I didn't want to have like a vegan in the name or anything. I think I've had like 10 different names when I first started, but like plant was in a lot of them, like plant-based, whatever kind of thing, But I don't know why. I just had the idea and it stuck. It's worked out.
It's catchy. It's not catchy, but it sticks.
Yeah, because I feel like all vegans are recovering carnists, in a way.
Yeah. But you kind of like reversed the process a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But I also feel like it's not, like when I think about it now, I'm thinking like, it's not really just about like recovering from carnism. I feel like it's about like almost recovering from like a lifestyle that didn't make me happy in a lot of different regards, about the alcohol.
Because even in your bio, you don't just talk about animal liberation. You don't just talk about veganism. You talk about making a healthier planet for all humans, animals and non-human animals. Wait, no, that isn't what I want to say.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's basically
something like that.
Yeah.
And are you gonna expand your topics beyond veganism? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about moving into more, I don't know, say inspirational, motivational, or life? I don't know.
Possibly, yeah. Like it's, like I definitely like love talking about veganism and animal rights right now, like a lot for sure. But there's so much stuff that I am interested in, There's so many different topics there that I care about, that I'm passionate about. So yeah, I can definitely see myself like talking about more, but I think I'll always be kind of like based in veganism and
there's nothing wrong
animal
with that
rights
and mixing the topics.
Yeah, for sure.
I was really scared of doing that originally. I really wanted to keep it based around veganism.
Yeah.
But then I realized I was only really talking to vegans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I always try and bring in a bit more of a wider scoped aspect to the episodes as well.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Because I want to make people who aren't vegan be able to listen to it and think this is actually quite interesting, without just feel like someone's throwing veganism down their throat.
Yeah, definitely. And that like comes back to being relatable as well.
Yeah.
Like part of the reason why I want to like do activism and do social media work as well is to be like, oh damn, this this guy seems pretty normal. Like he's just a genuine regular guy, but he cares about these issues and he's doing this kind of stuff. I want to make it like more kind of like normalized to do activism and to care about animals and to care about deeper issues, because the world desperately needs more people. There's this really great quote about environmentalism is like, we don't need a small group of people doing environmentalism 100% correctly. We need a huge group doing environmentalism as best as they practicably can.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is, it's so true, man. Like we're not going to get anywhere if we are just like consumption policing, career policing, like policing people on their lives to such a degree that it's like unreasonable.
And then it goes back to the relatability aspect as well. If you go to people and every single vegan grows organic vegetables.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you getting that outreach from? You know, where are you going to connect with the people?
Exactly.
You know? I find it great when you meet people who are, I don't know, lawyers, doctors, vets. That's something that's very important to me.
This is interesting.
That are vegans.
Yeah.
It's great. Or people who has nothing to do with that, but it's like that's the choice that they've made. And it's absolutely fine. And that's what we need.
Definitely.
To normalize it.
Definitely. We need people from all walks of life doing it. For sure. And it's like a very... Yeah, like I understand why people are so critical about like, oh, this person, but he does that kind of thing. That's not a good way to make veganism more accessible to the general public.
Well, then it goes back to, okay, so fine, I'll just eat meat then.
Yeah, because fuck it, if I can never be perfect, why should I try?
Yeah,
that's gonna like demotivate people from even making an attempt, for even taking a step in the right direction.
Absolutely, it depends how you use as well what you have around you.
Yeah,
and I find if you're in some world where veganism is not normal, that gives you so much more power to spread it so much easier.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Because you already work at the vegan sections of Whole Foods. You know, you're not really going to
make an impact.
Yeah, you're not really going to be connected with many people. You're probably going to eat a lot of good food.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, this very like all or nothing, black or white, you can't do this, you're not that, is just so toxic to growth.
It's almost like a fascist approach to veganism, and that is that's why we can't relate to the word.
Yep, definitely.
If you could pick a word for it, what would it be?
For like a vegan lifestyle? I don't know. I like to think of it as like a conscious lifestyle. Like conscious might be a good word. You know, like you're conscious of the impact that your choices make.
Yeah.
You're conscious about what you choose to buy. You're conscious about what you choose to fund. I think conscious could be a good word. Yeah.
It is, because then it brings in knowledge, it brings in reflection, it brings in so much more than... Because no one really knows what vegan means, really.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that it's the contraction of vegetarian.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like so many people still don't know what vegan means. Yeah. But yeah, conscious is, it's wider than just our relationship with animals. But I feel like if you're vegan, you're most likely going to be a more conscious person than the regular Joe eating Big Macs and stuff, you know?
I mean, for me, the environmental aspect hit me harder than the animal aspect originally. Because
True, yeah.
Since quite a young age, I've been thinking, like, everything I use, everything you throw away, like, where does that actually go? You know, what impact does that actually have? And then when you see how much water you need to produce a steak, and you're like, how is this sustainable?
Definitely.
How is this reasonable? How can we possibly do this?
Definitely.
And how can someone tell me I'm wrong to fight against it?
For sure, man. And yeah, I relate to that too. It hit me so deeply when I first made the switch, because man, when you really like understand the science of what's happening to the planet, it's so dark and it's so terrifying. And when you see footage of what happens to animals displaced from climate change, it like fucking breaks your heart, man. Like we have this like miraculous ball of life and floating in the solar systems. We have no idea how, why, and we're consciously destroying it for completely unnecessary reasons. Like when you really take that on board, it's like soul destroying.
Yeah.
It's soul crushing, really, what's happening to the planet, what's happening to animals. So I relate to it like equally as deeply as what's happening to animals. I think it's related.
A lot of people say, you know what, I live once, fuck it, what difference can it make? I'll be dead by the time all this shit hits the fan.
If everybody thinks like that, we are completely fucked. But I think a lot of people do. They think, I'm just one person. Fuck it, I'm going to enjoy my time here. And I can actually understand that for sure. Like when I was younger and I was like partying heaps and stuff, like that's the mindset that I had. I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm young. Like I'm not going to care about my job. I don't care about my responsibilities. I don't care about this. I'm just going to fucking party as much as I can. And I was like in that mindset for sure. And it's like, it makes sense why people have that. Because it's harder to be more conscious and to like think about things on a deeper level. It's like, it's challenging. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you like unsure about things.
And on the reverse side of that is when you grow up, now most people are like, I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
Because the world's fucked.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So if you took better care of the planet,
then
there would be a world for your kids.
Yeah. True.
Do you want to have kids? I mean, not with me, obviously, but you know.
Oh, what? I thought that's what you were hinting at, man.
Really not. Not my type.
Damn it.
Too short.
Like the 7-footers, eh? Yeah, I do want to have kids.
Okay.
But I understand that there's more and more people consider having kids as unethical because it's so resource intensive. But I feel like there's just such a, like as a human being, it's one of the most magical experiences you can go through is to have a child, to bring a child out of the nothingness into physical manifestation. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that we can do this. But yeah, my thought is that if I do have a kid, hopefully they grow up being a conscious, like positive member of society that can influence change in the right direction, so it can possibly offset the negative consequences of continuing the overpopulation of the planet.
But that's the thing, if people like you stop having kids, stop educating their children in a conscious way, then we're definitely fucked. Because then it's literally just going to be the people who aren't aware, who not saying they're bad people, but they just don't have the same conscience about the world that we live in, and are contributing to destroying it.
That's true, man. Yeah,
that's just going to accelerate our extinction.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, like the new generations of kids, are they going to be more like even the regular people that are having kids? Are those kids going to be more conscious, more aware about issues because of things like access to the internet and social media and the entire database of the world's information and available within 5 seconds on their smartphone? Like, are they automatically going to be a little bit more conscious? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't mean that everybody should have kids at the same time. So yeah.
Well, if we say technically we can feed up to 11 billion people right now with the resources that we have, with the technology that we have right now, I do think we can sustain. But I mean, it's not going to be. Imagine a world where you don't have like green spaces, where you don't have like parks, you don't fly over like, I don't know, forests of nothing, you know, of wildlife. That would be the most depressing thing.
Be miserable, man.
And especially wildlife and trees is literally what can reverse climate change.
Yeah.
If you do believe in that.
Yeah. I can't see how people don't.
There's still a lot. You know?
Oh, it's crazy. Have you seen the backlash that Greta Thunberg is having lately?
Oh, no.
It's crazy, man. Like so many people shitting on her and conspiracy theorists coming out and saying that she's backed by like all these like evil billionaires and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like, it's so.
And then she refused to talk at one of the events as well.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear about that.
I mean, my heart goes out to her. Like,
she's amazing.
She is incredible. I mean, I don't even have words to say like the admiration that I have for her.
Definitely, same, man. And like when we talk about one person having like the ability of one person to influence change, you look at the photos of her 1 year ago when she started the school strikes. Look at the footage now. Millions of people marching all around the world. 270,000 people here in Berlin.
Wow.
Quarter of a million people. Like that is insane, man, from one 16-year-old girl. Imagine if she never had the idea to do that, or she thought, I can't make a difference.
Yeah. Gives me shivers, man.
Crazy, man. Yeah. And like the fact that she has like Asperger's as well, like that probably helped her to be like, fuck it, I'm going to do this because it makes sense. I'm not going to be like tied down by people's opinions or my peers not doing things like this. I'm going to do it. And man, she's like changing the world in front of our eyes.
Yeah. It's
fucking amazing.
I mean, it's amazing what you can do if you literally just take action.
Definitely.
On anything.
Definitely.
Be that in your personal life, on the planet. Like, she's been everywhere. And the way she talks as well, she hasn't even, I don't want to say softened, because that would mean that her message is harsh, but she hasn't changed the way that she talks since the beginning. And regardless of who she's talking to, she's honest to the point, and she says exactly what needs to be said. And
that's probably coming back to her Asperger's as well. Like that probably helps her conduct herself in those situations, because she's like, this is what makes sense to me, so I'm just going to say it because it's true. Why would I not say it? She doesn't have those same like maybe kind of like mental barriers that some of us may have about like speaking strong truth, you know?
Yeah, well, we're always afraid to offend, and
definitely
we always want to do things half measured. You know, you don't want to go full in, you don't want to commit, you don't want to.
Definitely, it's all
political, isn't it? You know, we all play a political game even in our day-to-day lives. You don't want to offend anyone, you don't upset anyone.
For sure.
Know, so.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're always so terrified of people's opinions.
I mean, it makes sense because from the fact that we're like social creatures and we're social animals, and we rely on each other so much for our own happiness and for feelings of worth. But at the same time, like, I feel maybe social media has also played a role in like giving like greater visibility to our peers and what other people are doing. But like, we're so new with this technology that we're still figuring out how to use it and how to conduct our lives using this. But I feel like, social media has perpetuated the idea that other people's opinions should dictate how we live our lives. And I think that makes people so miserable, because they're so afraid to try what's like deep inside of them, something that they want to do. They don't live to their full potential because of like somebody possibly not agreeing with them.
But don't you think though, the fact that the social media is that now with the internet, you can always find a group of people that like the stuff that you like.
For sure.
Whatever it is, if it's like, I don't know, brown pillows. I'm sure there's a group out there that loves brown pillows.
I'm
sure
going
to find that group and I'm going to put a link to it. Okay?
I'm sure there is.
I'm going to give them a like and a subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to donate.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I'll buy a pillow.
Yeah. Like, there's communities for everything nowadays. So that probably does change things. But like, it's like myself, I'm still held back a little bit, even though I've been actively trying to push past it. But in my mind, it's still like, what's my mate from high school gonna think? Like, is he gonna think I'm weird, or is he gonna think I'm like doing something too random, or I'm still held back from this.
Maybe he will, but he's gonna think about that for 2 seconds of his day.
Yeah, probably. And like, the thing is, people are so like insecure about themselves that they don't have time to like be like, oh man, this guy, what the fuck's he doing, or something. They're too worried about their own like hair, nose, feet, hands. Like, everyone's insecure about something.
I've seen it recently actually, because I haven't been putting out as much. Like, I haven't put out one of my 1 minute videos. I can't even say them anymore. 1 minute videos in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'm having like this big up flare of like eczema on my face.
Yeah.
And I've always had eczema. Like, all of my body, I've been always like known it.
Yeah.
But I got a bit self-conscious about it. Like, especially I started putting myself more on camera, on screen and stuff. It's like, I don't want to do it because it'll make me feel self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
And you know how it is, especially if people see like a guy with like red skin, he's like, oh, it's because he's vegan.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
100% because he's vegan.
For sure.
But ultimately, I kind of felt like I should be like, you know what, fuck it. Like, it doesn't change the message that I want to put out.
No, fuck it, man. Do it. Everybody has something. Like,
sometimes
sometimes I'm scared to film because I'm like, oh man, like, I look like shit. I didn't get a good sleep. Got bags under my eyes, whatever. But like, everybody has something. Everybody has bags under their eyes. Everyone has red dots somewhere. You know? Most people. So like, just do it, man. Put yourself out there. It's probably gonna like. People are probably going to like you more because of having the balls to do that than if you were to hold back.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is the key to making it work on social media, is to really just open up, just
For sure.
put out that real message, that what you believe in and what matters to you.
Definitely.
And I have found that, I mean, through the countless hours that I'm going to spend editing this never-ending episode. I'm just kidding. And, you put it. You don't even count the hours when you love it. I'm literally going to listen to this conversation again.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound bad, but I'm literally my own biggest fan.
Yeah.
Of my podcast.
Yeah,
I enjoy listening to my podcast.
That's so cool, man. Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that. Yeah.
But all of the episodes that I've recorded, I'm proud of them. And I enjoy the conversation. It's been stimulating for me mentally. And even if I listen to it a second or third time, I still enjoy doing it.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
And I'm not saying that it's great or it's good. It's just I personally enjoy doing that.
That means
that's a win.
That means that you're enjoying what you're doing and you believe in it and you're passionate about it, man. Yeah, for sure. Like, I listened back to the podcast that I was on with Vegan Luna guy, and I was like, oh yeah. Like, in the moment I was like, I don't know if I'm really like killing it or whatever. But then I went back and listened to it. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. But it's like the process of bringing out thoughts from your mind and who you are and putting them down somewhere and like listening to how you formulate them. It's a fascinating thing, man.
That's why I just love podcasts, because it becomes so deep.
Yeah.
It always starts off a bit like rickety, you know, it's like, it's kind of like that sword fighting, trying to get to know, balance out the conversation. And then all of a sudden just
Yeah.
Just like blows up completely out of your mind.
That's the magic of it, man. Okay. You've inspired me to start a podcast.
You've got to do it. Like, I mean,
I should.
You clearly can talk.
Too much.
No. We're reaching an age now, you and me, where we're no longer kids, right?
Yeah.
I love being a kid.
Yeah.
Irresponsible.
Yeah.
Doing whatever I want, cocking it up. But we're reaching that kind of age where, especially you see it on social media, or your friends are getting married, or your friends are having kids.
Yeah.
So we need to start thinking about the future generation and how we're going to educate them. Obviously, we're both new to this, to veganism, conscious living and stuff. But how do you think we can get this more into the school system as well?
Yeah.
Because the school system is so archaic, it's so old. It hasn't changed for years.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a shame because kids are inherently very like loving and compassionate and playful and like very in touch with who they are and what they want to do. And
so receptive.
So open-minded and really more like intuitive as well. Like intuitively understanding things about life that perhaps get drilled out of you when you start going to school and going to the same place every day. And yeah, that's a really great question, man. I think the school system definitely needs to change in a way that's more kind of relatable to like actually being a human, not being a robot that just shows up at the same time every single day. And
were you good at school?
Yeah, I was pretty good at school. Like I've always loved sports and I've been like really quite good at sports. So yeah, like I did pretty good at school. I'm terrible at maths is the only thing, like just bad with numbers, but I've always been a really good writer. I don't know why, from a young age. I was like the biggest bookworm growing up. Loved reading, loved writing, and that's what kind of like led me into journalism, because I always wanted to be a writer, because I've always like loved kind of thinking about deep ideas and like bringing them across in a way that's like people can have an experience with and like learn from or think about, you know. And yeah, I always wanted to be a journalist, and like I got a job as a journalist and worked as a travel journalist for like a year, and that was super cool, but it didn't like scratch that itch like at all. I was like writing, like the advertiser would pay for a slot in our magazine and I would say, this advertiser is good, you should buy from them.
No way.
Yeah, basically like advertorial kind of content.
Okay.
And yeah, that was just kind of like, oh damn, okay, this is what journalism is. Yeah, but then like, yeah, but I never had the confidence or belief in myself to like take the thoughts and ideas or things that I wanted to write about and just verbalize them instead. Whereas I feel like I'm getting better and better at doing that from a place of like more self-confidence. But yeah, I forgot what the question was. Was I good in school?
I don't know. No idea, but this was really interesting.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to continue into that.
Yeah.
Because you say it wasn't giving you what you wanted and you wanted to do your own content. And I saw that. Now, I wanted to be a journalist, okay?
Oh, really? Yeah.
When I was young.
Oh, true.
But I hated school.
Okay.
So it was never going to happen.
Okay, yeah.
And then I wanted to be on the radio.
Okay.
But I didn't have any like degree or experience because you always need to know someone, and I knew nobody.
For sure.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to start my own podcast and do my own radio.
Dope.
And now you do whatever, I can talk about whatever I want.
Exactly.
And I was on the radio in Dubai.
Okay.
And this was like my dream.
Wow.
Not as a host, but they invited me to talk about veganism in Dubai and stuff like that.
Bro, that's awesome.
I had this proper like Joey Carbstrong moment, you know, I was going to go in full on. But that's when I really realized that they have no control over what they say.
Nothing. Yeah.
Because they asked me a question and I started answering that question.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't really get into like obviously talking about slaughterhouses and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned one thing and they literally like just cut the audio and they were like behind the glass things, like,
really?
full on straight away.
Damn, no way.
And they're always so sectioned by advertisement.
Yeah,
it's like literally they just put content so they can feature advertisement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what
using,
journalism is these days.
It's so sad. They're not using advertisement to fund the journalism. They're using journalism to fund advertisement. It's like so sick.
You nailed it. That's a great way to put it. Yeah. And that's exactly what the company that I was working for did. You know, like content was a vessel for advertisers to sell, which is so fucked up, and it so goes against the actual like kind of philosophy and requirement for journalism and society is to like be a watchdog for government and for society, and to deliver people information that they need to make informed decisions from. And that's just not the case these days. It's been corporatized and commodified to...
And even a lot of reality TV shows are created for the sole purpose of advertisement. By advertising companies.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. But then that demise of kind of like centralized media companies is giving rise to what you're doing and what so many other people are doing.
They must be doing a really shitty job in mainstream media if people are turning to me.
But like, we have the power these days. we have our own... We can build our own platforms. Like your IGTV is like a TV network. Yeah. You can have thousands of viewers. You know,
I don't like IGTV, to be honest.
Really?
It's just not working.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's like the new YouTube, in a way. Like,
why?
Longer form content on an app that you don't have to leave to view. You have short form content. You have long form content. You know, you don't have to go to YouTube to watch long videos anymore. They're just embedded within Instagram.
Well, it's limited to 10 minutes. Unless you've got X amount of followers, then
I think when you get 10K, you can have 60 minutes.
No
You can have
way.
an hour, yeah. But I feel like people maybe wouldn't watch for the whole time.
Yeah.
Like less than on YouTube, but I still feel like it's kind of in its early stages, but I feel like it's like YouTube's key function is long form or like short form videos in one place, in one app. And if Instagram can have that and the whole social feed at the same time, like there's a lot of potential for it. And I just like it. I like the experience of like not just viewing like a small framed video, like having the whole screen go to the video. I think it's cool.
But for me, it's more the uploading of it. I just find it...
Really?
It's a bit of a...
Yeah?
You know, because it's, 9:16, because it's got to be...
It's like 1920 by 1080 is the dimensions. Yeah,
because it's straight, isn't it? Instead of... I had so many issues the first few times I tried to upload. Because then the thumbnail as well, it was always off.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I first tried to do it, I was like... stressing out, and it was like, and the first IGTV that I did was my conversation with Sverige too, so I was like, yo, I can't wait to release this. Like I was so pumped up just because I thought like the video was funny, and it showed how like delusional Sverige and his girlfriend are. But when I uploaded it to IGTV, like it didn't work the first time, and I was like, oh fuck. And then I tried to do it again, and I was like, oh, like I got the title wrong and fucked it up.
And you're in this state of panic because you think everyone's trying to watch it in that exact second.
In reality, nobody cares.
I realized that every time I post something to Instagram, I edit it like 4 times because I always type something wrong, and then I forget something here, and I edit the description like 6 times before anyone's even seen it. Really.
Apparently, that limits the reach of the post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So it's probably best just to delete it. Yeah, or just leave it, man. Fuck it. Who cares? It doesn't matter. No one's gonna be like judging you for spelling a word wrong. Like Gary Vee's Instagram is filled with typos.
Is it?
Yeah, big time. He writes his own captions and everything, and it's like always.
But the guy does post like 5 times a day. Yeah. On every single platform.
Yeah, that's true. But fuck, he's winning.
I was trying to do that at some point, but I just I couldn't do it.
I still like. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of philosophy. Like I try and post once a day.
Yeah.
But sometimes I post twice a day, and then I notice that the engagement isn't as much. Then I'm like, oh, maybe if I post it every second day. But then my philosophy is just like, if I have content, I'm just going to put it out, like without caring too much about the semantics and the finer details of it.
Because people are trying to like break the algorithm, aren't they? Have like
exactly.
Post every day at 6:32 p.m. is the optimum time for my followers to.
Too many details stifles creativity and stifles output. So my philosophy is if I have a piece of content that's ready to go, I'm just going to post it as long as it's at like a reasonable hour. But and then I think and it's just like a momentum build as well. Like every time you post content, you're like putting a brick in a foundation. You're building momentum with everything that you do. Yeah. Even if it doesn't like work as well, you just that's why that didn't work. I can take it on board.
But I find it so humbling because I'll put out an episode and I'll be like, okay, this is going to be the shit. This is going to be the one.
Totally, yeah.
And I genuinely think is great.
Yeah,
and then it completely flops.
Yeah, definitely.
But it depends on so many different factors.
It's so funny, isn't it?
I'll put out one where it's just like me and a friend just talking about stuff. You know, nothing. Yeah. There's no like particular angle to it, and that'll have a lot more success to it. Yeah, which is I find it so humbling as an experience.
It's funny, isn't it?
That content.
Definitely, I've had so many videos where I was like, "Yo, this is really funny," or I think like this is really delivers a good message, and like it won't do very well, and I'm like, "Huh, interesting." And then like ones I think aren't going to do well, nearly almost become the most popular ones that I put out. Like I did one on like why are vegans so annoying. Like, did you see that one?
Yeah.
And like I had like a headband on and shit. But when I did it, I was like, I don't know about that. And then I put it up and it like wasn't doing that well. And I was like, damn, maybe I should like remove this from my profile. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just leave it up. And then 2 days later, it was like 10K, then it was like 50K, then now it's like 80K.
Wow.
And it's like my most popular piece of content. And I like wanted to delete it.
And that's not even like straight away, is it? It was after a few days.
Yeah. I have no idea why, but like I think Instagram just put it on the explore page for some people.
They thought you looked good with a headband.
Maybe, yeah. That must have been it.
Do you use the explore page on Instagram?
Nah, not really. I don't actually use Instagram that much, like casually. Yeah. Like I have a few people that I like seeing their content, and I'll scroll to see like what maybe they have been doing, and I'll like talk to people and the DMs and stuff. But like, I don't really use it that much.
Because I've never explored anything.
Yeah. I mean, like once you have like people that you're interested in following and like get value from,
exactly.
There's no. Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
But one thing that I'll be very sad when it's no longer in fashion, because it's going to happen because everything goes out of fashion, is the day that memes die.
Do you think memes can die? I feel like they've reached a point of like they're just going to keep morphing and changing. Like they may not look.
Everything dies. Everything. I'm sure. I will keep that video clip, actually.
Okay.
5 years and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I genuinely think memes will be I hope not, because I love them. And I get most engagement on them than anything else that I do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like memes have reached such a... They're so powerful, you know?
Yeah.
Like they create trends and they deliver information and they're like so powerful. I don't know if they can die. I feel like it's like... It's its own thing now, and like there are different formats of memes and there are different variations.
I mean, I'll put hours into editing content, video, whatever, put it out there.
Yeah.
I'll make like a meme in 2 seconds and get like 10 times the engagement on it.
Bro, yeah. It's crazy, yeah. Like that's the same with like the tweet things that I do. Like I wish they didn't do as well as they do because they're so quick and like easy to do. You just like have a funny idea or like you're thinking about an issue and you just put some words together, screenshot it, and post it.
Yeah, I was seeing a lot of people try that. So I did like 1 or 2 and did really notice the success of it.
It does really well. Like I saw, who did I see doing it?
I think I saw Sol Eubanks doing that first, actually.
Yeah. I don't think he does it himself. I think people took his stuff, then put it on Instagram, and then it was just doing super well. I think I saw Ryuji, Peace by Vegan, do it, and I was like, oh, okay, that seems to work, and it's easy. And I saw Nima Delgado do it actually, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, and it looks cool. May as well try it.
Yeah, it looks official, doesn't it?
Yeah, for some reason it just like looks kind of nice. I don't know why.
Maybe you should try the opposite, like take a screenshot of Instagram, post it on Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. And then like some people do the same thing with Facebook. Like they'll screenshot a Facebook status and then put it on Instagram. It doesn't do as well, but it's like still the same idea. Like, which it makes sense because it's like you're creating content on one platform and then you're just like utilizing it for another one. It's this like you put one amount of energy and time to creating one piece of content on one platform, then you put it across multiple. Like it's a good
then you see the engagement that it has on different platforms as well.
Yeah.
I see that for example, the mini clips that I make of the episodes, they do well on Instagram. Yeah. Obviously, they don't get shared as much because you don't really share video as much as you share image.
Yeah, true.
When I put them on like Twitter or LinkedIn.
You use LinkedIn?
Yeah, I've been just thought I might as well. It's there.
Nice, man.
And it's interesting the engagement I get on LinkedIn because it's such more a business mind.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really interesting, and because I put in my profile on LinkedIn like podcast host and video creator.
Yeah. Nice. Just very official.
Just because I can. With a really cool picture of me, looking all serious.
Yeah.
So as soon as I connect with people, they always like reply because they think I'm going to ask them to come on my podcast.
Okay. Oh, true. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. Yeah. Like I know LinkedIn is a very useful and powerful platform, but I've never thought about putting content on there.
No, I've posted literally all my videos on it.
Oh, true, yeah.
At least the 1 minute ones just for fun.
That's cool, man.
Because all this like serious stuff and then there's just videos of me like pretending to be a lion.
Yeah.
I thought I just need to bring some light into
that's what LinkedIn needs, huh? Yeah, that's interesting, man. The more platforms, the better. Means you're diversifying so that you're not like the victim of a platform if it dies. Like if Instagram shits its pants, then it's like a lot of people are going to be fucked because they haven't diversified their content across a range of platforms.
My heart is honestly set on YouTube, even though my content isn't really made for YouTube.
But like long form podcasts for sure.
Yeah, I mean, now with the 2 cameras, like, it adds more to it. When it was just one before, I mean, I can understand get tedious just watching one camera.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more successful just through audio, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just have this affection towards YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the childhood thing.
Me too. Yeah. And like a lot of like really great information and content comes from YouTube.
Because it's a search engine, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, that's true, man.
But
I feel the same.
To gain a following on YouTube.
It's so hard, man. Like, the amount of content I've done, like trying to drive people to YouTube as well, and like not many people do it.
Yeah.
Like, I've got like 350 subscribers on my YouTube, but like 10,300 on Instagram.
Yeah, I've got a better ratio than you on that. That's kind
yeah.
I think I've got 105 on YouTube and then like 1,300 on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. I was even posted like a story like, guys, I got 99 subscribers. Help me get that 100. Like, to wait like 4 hours for someone. Whereas 250 people had seen the story.
Yeah. Come on.
No one wants to leave Instagram. Everyone's just hooked on it.
It makes sense, but like that's one of probably Instagram's drawbacks is that it's not super easy to drive people somewhere. Like your link in bio, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Go exit the story. Go on his profile. Click the link. Which is, I'm stoked now on 10K, which I can just say, swipe up.
You should
swipe
abuse
up, man. Definitely. I've used that like 3 times. But every time I use it, I'm like, ooh, professional. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know I couldn't do that originally because I recorded something and I made a short clip. I was like, yeah, just swipe up. Maybe I'd see it. And I posted it in my story. I was like, I can't
do that.
I'll leave it anyway.
Yeah, you can add a link to your to an IGTV thing, and
actually that is a good thing about IGTV is that you can add so many links to it, and you can really use it in the same way you can put the post on Facebook as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I always put all of the different things we've talked about, and people can then go on from that. Whereas you do it on Instagram, you can't put any links at all.
Yeah, true that. Yeah,
they really don't want you to leave, don't they?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I think it's gonna be so good because you can just stay in one place for everything. Yeah,
maybe we should focus on it more.
Yeah. Do it.
That's your answer to everything. Just do it.
Just do it, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nike.
When in doubt, just do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Damn.
We were talking about school, though.
Yeah.
Before all.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked a lot about social media today.
We have. But like,
a lot of topics.
Social media is what I do for a living, and it's like what we're both trying to be successful on to spread the vegan message. And I think it's the most. I think it's the most important tool for any social movement and any activist is social media because it's just how we communicate.
I've learned so much about social media in the past 6 months, man. Like,
it's fascinating stuff, man. It's like just human psychology as well, you know?
Yeah. I never liked it. I was always very judgy of it's just self-promotion and all that stuff. Yeah. But I realized it was probably just my own insecurity of not being willing to put out anything. Yeah. And just being very quick to judge other people for it. Yeah. But now I realize like what I can do with it, you know?
Definitely,
like,
man. Yeah.
The fact that, okay, I live in Dubai. Mm-hmm. You live in Berlin. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm from the UK, you're from New Zealand. And yet, through social media, we like set this up, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure, easily. Man. Yeah.
And that is power.
That's crazy, man. We're connected to all parts of the world, all people at all times. If something goes viral, millions of people could see it. Yeah. Like, even the stuff that I've made, like, I don't know how many people collectively would have viewed a piece of content that I've made, but it's probably a fucking lot of people.
It would take you a long time to go around and show that to people, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
With your laptop. Like, have you seen my video?
Want to watch this funny little clip? But now it's insane, man. It really is insane. The ceiling for what can be achieved through effective social media use is like limitless. Yeah. It's crazy.
And I find it great that there's so many people now using it for the right reasons.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, there's a lot of people that use it for the wrong reasons, but at least now it feels a really growing group of people. I mean, I don't care if people are trying to self-promote, as long as they're self-promoting for a good cause.
Definitely,
I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
By recording that, by sharing that, you're empowering so many other people and showing it to other people.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. You take one unit of time or energy for one conversation, put it online and share it with thousands of other people. Yeah. It's the most effective way to spread a message. But yeah, I thought the same thing when I first started. I thought it was so crazy to even do activism or go to a Cube of Truth. I thought it was like, whoa, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, and then to film it and put it on as well. But man, it's just like if you can have a good conversation, then it deserves to be shared.
Absolutely.
You know? and it can be powerful. It can change somebody's life, one conversation. And they don't even have to be a part of it. They can just be sitting at home in bed, and you can have some life-changing impact on somebody.
It could be that conversation at the right time.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what changed me.
Exactly.
One podcast at the right moment, inconceivable 30 years ago, changed the course of my life.
But then a lot of people are terrified of like looking into a camera and then talking.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel that. Like, I'm a shy guy. I'm like an introvert, really, unless I'm like comfortable with somebody or passionate about something. And yeah, like I've never liked taking photos of myself. I used to be insecure about so much stuff, but you just gotta like have the balls just to not care about it. Because I first made the lifestyle change for health reasons, and then only when I already had a foot in the door was I able to contemplate the ethical reasons for veganism as well. So having already been in it, it's so much easier to look at the reality of what happens to animals and accept it and be like, okay, this is completely fucked up. But it's kind of like you're already not participating in it. So you're like, oh yeah, I don't do this.
Yeah.
And then you can recognize how fucked up it is. So,
because you're already on the right side of the ethics. So it's easy, isn't it?
Exactly. It's easy once you're already on the winning, or not the winning team, but like on the right side to be like, oh yeah, this is right. But like that makes the plant-based health advocacy so important as well, because it doesn't matter what reason you have for starting a plant-based diet or trying to live plant-based. Most people will come to the reasonable conclusion that what happens to animals is like completely unacceptable once they already can understand that it's not necessary and that we're healthier without it.
I mean, let's be honest, none of us would be plant-based, vegan, if we needed animal products to survive.
I think people still would be nowadays. I've talked to people and they said if I lived 20 years less as a vegan, I would still do that.
Okay, 20 years maybe, but if on a day-to-day basis it was necessary for you to function as a human being,
that's true.
Consume animal products. I don't think it would be a debate, really.
Of course, that's the thing. Like, necessity is like the driving line between what's cruel and what's acceptable. Like, you look at, I don't know if you've heard about that rugby team like 20, 30 years ago, their plane crashed in the Andes Mountains, and people died and they ended up eating the dead bodies. And like, we accept that because it's like, you got to do what you got to do to survive. It's a necessity. So and I think that's what made me contemplate like the ethical arguments really deeply, is because like I feel like that's the strongest argument, is because there's no necessity for it, then it's unjustifiable. And that's like the foundation almost for ethical vegan arguments.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is that simple.
Definitely.
I do ask people, it's like, do we need to do this?
Yeah.
No.
Why are we doing it?
So why do we do it?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you, you're vegan. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. You get the concept.
Come join us next weekend.
It's completely rational and it's completely logical. You know?
And it's so simple. Like, we make it so complicated, it's so simple.
We do, yeah. Do as much as you possibly can to avoid harming animals with your consumption habits.
I mean, it's not even about necessity. It's detrimental.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Exactly.
We always forget, like, we always say you can survive.
Yeah.
Survive.
No, you're better, man.
You thrive.
Fuck yeah.
In so many ways.
Definitely.
And for me, I do genuinely believe the biggest benefit has been mental.
Yeah.
And mental health, I believe, is something that we never talk about, something that's so taboo in our society.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about health, getting abs, getting ripped, getting everything.
Yeah.
But we don't discuss mental health.
Yeah.
You can tell someone, I feel fat, I feel ugly, I feel, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But once you get into talking about, I feel down, I feel depressed.
Yeah.
No one really knows where to go with that conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like going plant-based, at least, has had a positive impact on me mentally. Yeah. I don't know if that's just because I feel better consciously because I'm contributing to a better world. Yeah. Or if there's actual, I don't know, physical change. Yeah. It's interesting. I feel the same. I feel like much clearer, like much more present. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like some deep, like energetic, like spiritual thing that you're not getting your energy from like literal death and torture and suffering, and like you have like a more vibrant source of energy. I don't know if it's something to do with that, but I totally relate, man. Are you a spiritual person? Yeah, I would say that I am, for sure. Like, I used to, like when I was in my early 20s, I did a lot of like experimentation with like meditation and like thinking about different like philosophies and like
Buddhism and this kind of stuff. And like I was definitely really interested in spirituality, but I wasn't really like practicing what I was learning or preaching. I was just like, yeah, that's right, but I'm not going to change the way that I live to reflect these principles. That's like too much commitment.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, actually since I stopped eating animals, like I've definitely had a much more like, I would say like, it's my spiritual journey, is, if you want to call it that. It sounds completely wanky, but but like it's
kind of vomited in my mouth when you said that.
Yeah, sorry. I can't think of another way to phrase it.
With all due respect to Rich Roll, because he says it all the time.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like when I stopped eating animals, I embarked on like a much deeper kind of spiritual journey, because it's like, I'm actually like putting into principle these like beliefs and thoughts that I have, and I'm like holding myself accountable. And yeah, it's just like made me much more conscious about everything in my life, like the clothes that I buy and everything. I feel like you can't consider yourself a spiritual person if you're contributing to something that's like so. What happens in slaughterhouses ain't spiritual, man.
No.
You know, it's like complete disconnect with other beings and
but don't you
this
think
kind
it's
of stuff.
fascinating how everything and everyone is under constant surveillance in our society, except slaughterhouses?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense from their business perspective, because if it wasn't, then their business would completely crumble. There was a quote by Paul McCartney that's like, if all slaughterhouses had glass walls, the world would be vegetarian.
Yeah.
Just before veganism was like popular or
he's a long-term vegetarian, isn't he?
And the same thing goes for dairy farms. If people knew what happens, or if people had a close-up view of what happens to cows to create dairy products, then the world would be vegan for sure.
I mean, for me, that is honestly right now, the more I think about it, is the craziest thing when people tell me they're vegetarian for animals. Yeah. Because it's the cruelest industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's basically the meat industry anyway, because you'll end up dead and slaughtered for beef.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't tell them that because maybe I should.
Yeah. And it's funny, like these people, they've made a step to like move away from meat, from like flesh, basically, but they are still like, they still have the same defensiveness that a meat eater would have about giving up meat.
But I feel bad because like if I say to a vegetarian,
you should be vegan.
You should be vegan. They're going to come back and like, because you're vegan, it's never enough.
Yeah.
But I understand that point of view, because we do get that a lot. Yeah. But it's not enough. It is not enough to be vegetarian.
Not. Yeah. It's so great talking to vegetarians, because you can just say, I believe the exact same thing as you. We are just practicing it in different ways. And do you know about the dairy industry? Do you know about the egg industry? Do you think that these things go against the value that you hold, that is animals don't deserve to be exploited? And of course it does. But perhaps it's just like an awareness thing as well. You know?
True. I mean, I used to believe that cows produce milk.
Exactly.
Regardless.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I'm still mystified by human bodily functions most of the time. I mean, how are you supposed to know about cows? You know?
So true.
But you touched on something earlier. You mentioned animal flesh. So the wording that we use.
Yeah.
For example, in German, as I don't speak German.
Yeah.
For meat, they actually call it flesh.
They call it flesh, yeah. Interesting, huh?
One of the few countries where they actually use the correct terminology.
Yeah. I noticed it when I first moved here. I was like, wow, that's like pretty insane. But yeah, like Germans are very logical people, and they're like, this is the flesh of an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Germany has one of the highest rates of vegetarians in the world. So
it's interesting. I've found when you go to countries where they have the biggest meat culture, you also have the biggest anti-meat culture.
Yeah.
For example, Germany, you got the whole schnitzel, Oktoberfest,
Currywurst
thing.
That's true.
You go to supermarket, you find so much amazing vegan stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I wonder what the country is that has the highest rate of meat consumption. Probably somewhere in like Eastern Europe or America, maybe. I don't know.
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
But even in the US, I mean, they have the whole standard American diet, unhealthy fast food thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, you do have an amazing vegan scene.
Yeah.
At least in the capital, the big cities of the US.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So there's a big shift.
Yeah.
In the way people are
it's funny. Like in New Zealand, I don't know if veganism is really popular. Like I haven't been vegan in New Zealand.
I was in Auckland.
That's right. I saw that.
Ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And There's a few. I mean, I was in Auckland. There were a good 5-6 vegan restaurants there.
Yeah, yeah. My cousin actually owns one. You didn't go to the butcher's son?
No.
Okay, something like that. The butcher's son. Yeah, my cousin owns it.
That's awesome. I'll go
and my uncle, his dad was like a meat importer. Even though the meat is like the meat industry is our like most profitable industry because we export all of it. But yes, and he's vegan and he started a 100% vegan restaurant. And it's like one of the best in Auckland.
That is rebelling.
Crazy, eh?
I'll put a link to him.
Yeah, check him out.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of links.
The butcher's son or something. Yeah. But
it's
yeah,
a great story though. There's a lot of people like that.
Definitely, yeah. But like, I'd be interested to see what like the sentiment is in New Zealand, because here in Berlin, it's a very open-minded, progressive kind of environment, and veganism is super normal. So if you're like, hey, yeah, I'm vegan, and people are like, yeah, cool, makes sense. But in New Zealand, it's such like a farming culture, and there was like the first ever DXE action in New Zealand, and it was like nationwide news, controversy, like
terrorists.
Yeah. That was the sentiment for sure, but it was just so interesting because like vegan activism isn't really a thing in New Zealand.
No, I mean you guys are miles away from everything.
Exactly.
I mean you're not connected to the world.
But then Australia, there's a huge vegan activism scene.
I was talking to this actually when I did the episode with the Cheesy Vegan. I was like, why are there so many vegan activists that are from Australia? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Interesting.
Apart from you guys just complain all the time and you like to voice your opinions.
Yeah.
Why else there are so many?
I have no idea why. It's so interesting because then you look at New Zealand and it's not the same, but yet we're like quite similar cultures and mentalities and like personalities. Yeah, it's super interesting, eh? I don't know why.
Because if you look at the most prominent vegan activist, I would honestly say Australia is the top country.
Joey Carbstrong, James Aspey,
you got Leah, that vegan couple as well. They're
true, that vegan couple. Yeah, Leah Dolinger, I think her name is, from the Meet the Victims. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I don't know why.
Here they are. Well, Dominion was shot in Australia, wasn't it?
This is true, yeah.
I watched the first 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Till he got to the pigs.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like skimmed through it. Because I was at this point where I was like, I can't encourage people to watch something that I haven't seen.
That's true. Yeah.
And if it's bad for me to watch it, imagine what it's like for the animals to go through. Yeah. I still didn't watch it. But you know, that was my idea. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's like so unbearable to watch what's happening in those documentaries. I've had like nightmares about what happens to animals there. Like pretty crazy stuff. Yeah. Like being in big factories and like seeing animals being like chucked around in the facilities. It's like you gotta understand. Or you got to like wonder what happens to our like subconscious when we're looking at all of these videos of like horrific things happening. Like I feel like they like stays with us on a subconscious level. Definitely. For sure. It scars you. Yeah. I mean, I think we mentioned earlier as well about post-traumatic stress, literally from activism as well. Yeah. I know, I mean, obviously it was my first Cuba Truth and stuff, but it was the first time I was constantly exposed to slaughterhouse footage for like hours on during a day. Yeah. And I could feel it. You can feel that heaviness. Definitely, yeah. So yeah. I still remember when I watched Earthlings for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the scene. Have you seen Earthlings? No. Oh man. I keep putting it off. Yeah. I'm supposed to do a live screening. Okay. Like with Sol Eubanks, because he hasn't seen it either. Okay. So we're both like, okay, we're gonna man up. Which doesn't really mean anything because I'm sure more women have seen it than men. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And watch it together on Facebook with a big box of tissues. Okay, yeah. I'll invite you if you want. Actually, already seen it. I'm good. They have a scene where they like chuck this dog in like the back of a garbage truck in some country, and then you like see this claw going down on top of the dog, and it's like, I'll never forget seeing that, man. Oh, it's horrific. Yeah, it definitely stays with us on a subconscious level. That's why the mental health discussion is super important as well, and because so many activists are like get burnt out, get burnout, get fatigued from too much activism, too much exposure to like horrific images. Yeah, for sure. Like it's a serious thing. We need sustainable activists. I think it's because once you start getting into activism and you start doing stuff, you just want to keep on rolling, you know? Definitely. And you just realize there's more and more to do, and you just kind of take it all upon yourself. Definitely. And you forget yourself in that as well. For sure, man. Yeah. That's why I think it's like so important, like
to just maintain who you are, be yourself, continue being a regular person. Don't go all into like, I feel like a lot of people go all into veganism. Like they only wear vegan shirts and vegan hats and only associate with vegan activists and wouldn't date anybody who isn't a vegan activist. Like I feel like that doesn't
Would you date a non-vegan?
Like when I went vegan, my girlfriend didn't, and she was like vegetarian for like 3 or 4 months, but then she went vegan.
Yeah.
And like it would be shit. But like we live together. So like I can't stand the idea of animal products like in my fridge or like somebody cooking animal products and eating them in front of me. Like especially.
But let's say in a hypothetical situation, you were single again, and you met an amazing person, and she's not vegan. Would you still date her?
Yeah, I think so. Only if she's like open-minded and curious, and I can see that she has like a seed of like relatability to like the reasons why somebody would go vegan. If they were like anti-vegan, no. I
mean, I wasn't vegan.
Yeah,
I wasn't always vegan. I wasn't born vegan. Exactly. Like, I'm never going to pretend that, you know.
Exactly.
So that's why I agree. I would probably start dating the person, but if that person doesn't start making positive change in your direction, at least starts to understand and research and want to know what you're talking about, because obviously it's very important to you. It's very important to both of us.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're taking the piss.
Definitely, yeah. If they weren't like, if you couldn't see that they were open to perhaps one day going in that direction, then it would be tough for sure. And I probably wouldn't stick with it. Yeah. But I think everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt in the beginning. Unless they have like an anti-vegan Instagram page or subscribe to Sverage. I think
it'd be quite funny to date someone who...
and change their mind about it.
Yeah, that would be the challenge. There would be a really good like reality TV show.
Wow. So that would be amazing.
Imagine you go undercover and you kind of start dating this person who's like
on a carnivore diet.
Yeah, and you try and like slowly veganize them.
Yeah. That would be interesting. You should do it. Set it up in Dubai.
Yeah. Well, I'm great at sitting on the sides of things. Like I like to just like watch people do stuff, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And
that's a great thing about podcasts. You get to meet so many people because you even got like 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. Yeah. That's why I really wanted to do the Cube of Truth in New York, because I felt I was talking to a lot of activism, talking a lot about activism, talking a lot about veganism. Yeah. But I hadn't had that experience of being there. Okay. Yeah. And I felt it's important to you can't just talk about it, you know. Sometimes you have to actually get out there and do it yourself.
Definitely. It's definitely a whole other experience, like taking part. Yeah. For sure, yeah.
So Marcus, we've been at this for about 4.5 hours. Pretty much.
The marathon podcast.
This has been my longest episode by far.
Amazing.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you, bro.
It's been amazing. We talked about so much stuff. You're a huge inspiration.
Thank you, man.
Anyone who doesn't follow Marcus by now and doesn't, you can find him on Instagram at Recovering CARNIST. Same on YouTube as well. Yep. Do subscribe. We did mention how hard it is to grow subscribers on YouTube, so do give him a subscribe everywhere. Have a great day, guys, and tune in next week for another episode of the Plant Go podcast.
Peace out.
Bye.
That's the year that they're saying's our last, unless we make a change now when we gotta be fast. But first we gotta make a shift in what we put in our mouths. See silly billies thinking vegans eating grass on the ground. We talking fast food, yo, it's burgers and fries. And it used to hurt the earth and the birds in the sky, but now they making it with plants and it's so much better, cause the animals are safe, no more changes in the weather. We better act fast, cause the ice barely freezing. The world's changing quick, so welcome to Planet Vegan. Woo! Damn, man, can you feel that? This place is getting hot. If we want to save the world, it'll take some work. If you want to make it better, then take off your shirt, wave it around your head, and jump into the streets. The revolution starts now. Can you feel its heartbeat? If we want to save the world, man, we better be quick, cause we're killing all the piggies and the cows and the chicks. And I gotta be honest, I ain't a fan of our fate, but we can make a change now, and it starts on our plates. All around the world, it's a brand new dance. What you're making out of bodies, yeah, we're making out of plants. We gotta save the pigs and the fishes in the sea, so hold on to your pants, Planet Vegan soon to be. There's a change up in the system, I can feel it in the air, but it benefits us all, there's no need to be scared. We're gonna change the world and we'll do it in a day, so don't fight the future, Planet Vegan's here to stay. If we wanna save the world, it'll take some work. If you wanna make it better, then take off your shirt, wave it around your head, and jump into the streets. The revolution starts now. Can you feel its heartbeat? If we wanna save the world, man, we better be quick, cause we're killing all the piggies and the cows and the chicks. And I gotta be honest, I ain't a fan of our fate, but we can make a change now and it starts on our plates.
Massive forest fires have once again decimated the Californian coastline.
Iceland just held a funeral for the first glacier ever lost in the country's history due to warming weather patterns.
Europe was just hit with the hottest temperatures in recorded history.
Thousands of people are already dying every year from climate change related issues, and this number is expected to rise exponentially over the coming decades.
Okay, this apocalyptic nightmare's about to be real. Forest fires, oceans flooding, let it fill you with fear. 1 billion refugees running across the borders in pain, and they're drowning while you're saying you're refusing to change. Slaughterhouses filled with bodies and they're letting out screams, but you're saying it's a lie, that it's only a dream. Let me tell you something, man, the nightmare is real, and you're paying for it daily with your supersized meal.